My name is Sandra, and I'm 28. I live in Houston, Texas, but I'm planning to move out soon. I was in a terrible marriage for a year and a half, but I managed to come out of it thanks to my father and the police. It was all my fault I got myself into this. If I was a bit clever, maybe I would have done the right thing and said no to that marriage. I was always this very shy and aloof girl. I didn't quite like hanging out with people. I always did that in front of my computer. Having its unlimited availability, I was completely engrossed in the virtual world. There were very few times I would go to pubs and enjoy a drink, but then there would be weird strangers who would approach me and try to make friends with me, but I strongly refused their offer as they were complete strangers, and they could kidnap me for heaven's sake. My mother died when I was 6. She had an untreated heart condition. I was raised by my father. He worked as a Marine from the age of 23. He would often leave us for long journeys through adventurous waters and explore new things. I missed him a lot during those times. He would send letters to my mother, and he even tried to call her whenever there was an opportunity. When my mom died, he came back. He saw me crying like crazy beside the casket. He picked me up and tried his very best to console me. "Hey, my little girl, missed me. Wow, you've grown so much. Papa, hey now, Dove, it's all right now. That Daddy's here, you'll be all right, I promise, okay?" I still kept crying in his arms, clutching his uniform. My dad slowly patted my back and kept humming my favorite lullaby until I finally fell asleep. That night I saw him, sitting alone on the couch drinking. He looked pale and sad. He kept muttering something to himself and then muffled his face on the cushion and started crying. That was the second time I saw him cry. The first was when I fell from the slide and hurt myself. Maybe he blamed himself for all the things that happened. He took a break for 2 months before leaving for work again. Before doing so, he left me with my grandmother, Dove, who took care of me while he was away. "You be nice to Granny, okay? She's here for you. You will be a good girl and help her out. And I'll come back soon, my Dove. I told Granny to teach you to bake your favorite sweets and your favorite dishes. You will learn from her, won't you?" "Yes, Dad, I will. Next time I come back, I would love to try out your dishes. Now I must go. My car's waiting. You take care of yourself, honey." He left. I knew he would be returning after 6 months or so. He would often send me gifts and small souvenirs from the places he had visited. I would mostly stay indoors and help Grandma out with her chores. I avoided playing with kids. I didn't like to. As I grew up, I became more and more dependent on the comfort of my room. My dad eventually sent me back to our old home. I hated going to college. I hated interacting with people. The internet gave me more confidence than the outside world could ever do, each with its own stories waiting to be discovered. It's both thrilling and comforting to talk to people whom I'll probably never meet in person. I can share my thoughts, feelings, and interests with them, knowing that they won't judge me for being an introvert. In this vast sea of connections, I've found friends who truly understand me through the screen. I've met people from different cultures, backgrounds, and experiences. It's fascinating to learn about their lives and to realize how similar we all are despite our differences. The internet has become a bridge that spans across continents, bringing us together in ways that were once unimaginable. There, I met a guy named Ricky. He was a streamer. At least that's what he told me. He first started with chat, and then it went ahead with video calls. I often hid my secret with a Batman mask and a small scarf on my face, and he would hide his face too and wear a beanie. "Hi, Sandra. It's great to see you finally." "Hello, Rick. Nice to meet you." Virtually. "Likewise. So how are you doing today? How many people did you chat with in total?" Oh, I'm doing fine, just a bit nervous, to be honest. You? That's completely normal. But trust me, I don't bite. I'm as awkward as you are, after all. It's our first proper conversation. So, Rick, tell me more about you. How did you end up on this online platform? Well, I love meeting new people and exploring different perspectives. I tend to stay at home more often than I should, and this online community seemed like a perfect opportunity to do just that. How about you? I'm a typical introvert, so I find it a bit challenging to socialize in traditional settings. Online platforms provide a sense of comfort and allow me to open up a bit more. I completely understand. Virtual connections can be surprisingly meaningful. I'm glad we crossed paths. Their chat and finding common interests and stories and talking about their lives did wonders for me. I started feeling more and more at ease as the chat naturally continued. You know, I never thought it'd be so easy to talk to a complete stranger like that online. We didn't have to rehearse answers or think twice about saying something. It was just mutual feelings, Sandra. You can chat with people, and face it, you're a great conversation partner. I'm glad we did this. Hit me up if you want more chatting. I'm mostly online playing Mario. Oh, and I forgot to ask, do you play games? I'd love that. Rick, by the way, no. I mostly blog and scroll through Reddit. You can find some kinds of stuff there. I feel like I learn more from other people's stories than from real-life examples. True, I feel like our lives can be such a bummer sometimes. It's cool to get to know others. Check this out. Look at me. I feel like my online friends are closer than the ones who exist in my life. The best thing about virtual stuff is that you don't have to feel obliged to keep in contact. You can take it or leave it. It's your choice. As our chat went on, Ricky and I formed a true friendship, despite our being virtual friends and strangers. Our shared understanding, non-judgmental attitude, and open-mindedness pulled us closer even though we were miles apart. I'm not sure where this journey on digital will take me, but one thing is certain. I know I will always let these experiences I've had on my digital haven coexist with me. My father, on the other hand, he's the type of person who will be very careful if he knows I'm making friends with people I've never met. He's seen. He would get super pissed. The last time he came to me, he sat me down and ended up lecturing me during dinner. How are your studies, Dove? How can it be, Dad? I've graduated. Well, you wouldn't know. You didn't come. Oh, Sandra, age bad. You know I was extremely busy, and I was sorry then and sorry now. I even emailed you saying I would be there for your birthday. Well, what about my pumpkin's birthday? Stop calling me names. I'm no longer 6, you know. Well, to me, you will always be my little dove. But anyways, what have you planned for the future? Are you thinking of working? I don't know. What do you mean, I don't know? What are your friends doing currently? I don't have any friends. What? Look, dear, I haven't shifted you to your mom's house so that you can stay home and not socialize with the world. There are so many things you're missing out on, so many people you won't be able to meet if you don't step out. Honey, that's the problem, Dad. I don't know how to, but I'll try. I mean, I do make friends, but they are online. Online, Sandra? That's the worst platform to make friends. Oh, Jesus. Okay, well, fine. How about we go out today? A little bit of shopping, just you and me. I haven't been out at all recently. I don't know if I can. Absolutely, you can, Sandra. You have to try. This is not a healthy way of living, I understand. Ever since Marissa died, you have become. Why are you bringing Mom into this? What are you trying to suggest? I am not suggesting anything, honey. I'm just saying that there are ways to move on. Sandra, you remember, we love your mom. For grievances, we must learn to deal with them. I don't know why, but I got mad. I raised my voice, slammed the table, and got up. I have no appetite. I carried all my plates to the sink. Sandra, don't do so much to your father, please. I was trying to help you. Why don't you see me? You don't know anything about me, so don't even try to. I was enraged and went online to find Rick. At first, Ricky seemed like a nice person. He understood and listened. I was glad to have someone with whom I could talk, especially about what I was feeling. As an introvert, I always found solace in my home, using my computer screen. Everyone was going out, but I was watch over my virtual home. My father wanted me to go, but I never did. He had been pressuring me more before we had that conversation. I spent most of my life online. I knew he would do this. I knew he wouldn't get me. I knew he would think I was hurting my growth and personality and would want to do everything to force me out of my comfort zone because that's what he and my mom did. But life scared me. I need to tell Rick everything, and I met Joe. Hey, Sandra. Do you want to go with me? We can go to quiet places because we're both introverts, right? There are not many people there. I know of a place. I don't know. I feel like I need time to think. I just wanted to tell you whatever was going on. All right? No worries. I can wait. Whenever you feel like it, you can always drop by here. Here. Take my address. You're always welcome. Why are you being so nice to me? I'm a stranger. Am I not? Because I like you. Like me? Are you serious? Yes. I know it sounds strange coming from my mouth, but I want to get to know you. And if you ever feel the same, you know where to meet me. It was a big deal for me, stepping out of the world. My heart pounded with both excitement and nerves as the man I had been talking to online for the past month surprisingly lived very close to me, like a 20-minute drive or so. I took a deep breath, gathering my courage before knocking on the weathered wooden door. It creaked open, revealing Rick with a warm smile that instantly eased my apprehension. He was quite a charming young man. His home might not have been what one would call complimenting at first glance, but there was something endearing about it. It exuded a sense of authenticity and lived in charm that made it feel welcoming. As I stepped inside, I couldn't help but notice the small details that revealed a lot about Ricky's character. The bookshelves filled with well-loved classics, the stack of board games, his computer setup, etc. Welcome to my humble abode. Your gracious presence was much needed, my fair master. Some G-game language I probably won't understand, but thank you, this is quite a cozy place. Do you live alone? Nope, my fair princess. I live with my mom. She lives downstairs. I have the top floor all to myself. Come, I'll show you around. We spent the day talking, laughing, and discovering even more about each other. Meeting in person added depth to our connection, and I felt a newfound appreciation for the person behind the screen. Rick was just as kind and genuine as I had imagined, and his quirky sense of humor only made me like him more. As the sun dipped below the horizon, Rick suggested we take a stroll outside, and I agreed without hesitation. As we wandered along the nearby park, the conversation flowed effortlessly, and my initial nervousness transformed into comfort. It felt like an extension of our online chats, but with an added layer of intimacy that only face-to-face interactions could bring. Wait, are you telling me you didn't celebrate your birthday? I had been learning about this man I was talking to online for the past month. He surprisingly lived very close to me, like a 20-minute drive or so. I took a deep breath, gathering my courage before knocking on the weathered wooden door. It creaked open, revealing Rick with a warm smile that instantly eased my apprehension. He was quite a professional young man. His home might not have been what one would call complimenting at first glance, but there was something endearing about it. It exuded a sense of authenticity and lived-in charm that made it feel welcoming. As I stepped inside, I couldn't help but notice the small details that revealed a lot about Ricky's character. The bookshelves are filled with well-loved classics, the stack of board games, his computer setup, etc. Welcome to my humble abode. Your gracious presence was much needed, my fair master. Some G-game language I probably won't understand, but thank you. This is quite a cozy place. Do you live alone? Nope, my fair princess. I live with my mom. She lives downstairs. I have the top floor all to myself. Come, I'll show you around. We spent the day talking, laughing, and discovering even more about each other. Meeting in person added depth to our connection, and I felt newfound appreciation for the person behind the screen. Rick was just as kind and genuine as I had imagined, and his quirky sense of humor only made me like him more. As the sun dipped below, Rick proposed to Adeline, and I from the horizon took a walk outside, and I did not even have to think because it was a beautiful idea. As we walked along the nearby park, the conversation went on smoothly. My anxiety went away, and that feeling of comfort just stepped between us. I can say that our walk was a picture of our online conversations, but with that tenderness that only real-life meetings can do. Wait a minute, are you saying you did not celebrate your birthday? Stood outside Rick's home, finally ready to meet the person. Yeah, I didn't feel like it, plus my dad was really mean. I didn't know how to face him after the argument we had. Oh, I'm so sorry that it happened. I'm sure he'll come around. He's your father after all. I made a mistake. I trusted him too much. I felt like his words were honey, but I didn't realize I was just like one of his games. When we started to date, he became an overly possessive and jealous boyfriend. He would always make me talk to him on the phone or online. If I ever tried to chat with someone else, he would get angry. He kept saying that he loved me a lot and wanted to protect me. I believed him. Why did I believe him? As our relationship grew stronger, it became apparent that his mother didn't approve of me. It was disheartening to know that she harbored such negative feelings towards me, someone she hadn't even met in person. Her disapproval weighed on me, and I couldn't help but wonder why she couldn't see the love and care we had for each other. Rick's close relationship with his mother was evident, and he often referred to himself as a mama's boy. While I respected the bond they shared, it also created some kind of distance between us. I got it that family was important to him. I just couldn't help but feel like an outsider trying to navigate the complexities of his mother's disapproval. The strangest thing ever, though, was that his mother low-key wanted us to marry off. She knew I had no one in the world, and my father doesn't stay with me. She probably thought I would be a great servant to her. You don't really need this. Not every parent is perfect. But look at your dad, for instance. But at least my mother cares about me. Please, Rick, you know when you talk like that, it really hurts that you know I'm actually the only one for you right now because your dad does not actually love you, and I do. So stop complaining so much about my life and try to compromise. We had a secret marriage. Ricky did not allow me to invite my father after saying that he would never approve of this wedding. He successfully brainwashed me into thinking that my dad did not love me, and I silently got married to him. I knew that I have landed myself into dangerous waters, but I was a weak character. Yes, I was a weak guy as a character. I'm not ashamed to say that. I was a very lame person, like my personality was so molded by my surroundings, and yeah, I blame myself for not trying. After a few months of marriage, I began to see a side of his mother that I had never expected, and that it had gone to that extent also. Her mother was filled with malice and cruelty, as if she was taking pleasure in torturing me. She made me doubt my worth, always making me feel rejected and defeated. It started with little passive-aggressive comments and remarks. She tried to clip me piece by piece, but I always made an attempt to overlook these comments also because I thought I might make things a little better. But it only intensified into a full-blown campaign of emotional torture. "What is this? You call this food? Do you want to kill my boy with this atrocity? Go make it again, you stupid girl. Why is there so much dirt here? Are you quack? What a shabby girl. Get up, lazy girl. Take the trash out now. And Jesus, have your parents not taught you nothing?" Her words cut like a knife, leaving scars deep within me. She would question every decision of mine, belittling my achievements, and manipulate the situation that all I would feel was unworthy of Ricky's love, and my incredible husband would be in his room, listening to a song or playing video games. It honestly felt as if I were in a never-ending nightmare. No matter how hard I tried, I could not get away from her claws. My internal rage was boiling inside me. The mere thought of my own stupidity and weakness fueled that rage. How could I be so weak, so pathetic? I missed my dad. I regretted fighting with him. I screamed at him. I told him to leave me alone. With a heavy heart, he did so. It was a couple of days after my birthday we were stuck here. I deserved every second of it. One day I was not feeling super well. I felt very feverish, so I lay down on the sofa. I had begun thinking that a nap would help me. I was about to fall asleep when suddenly a cold gush of water was violently splashed at me. I woke up startled and panicky. It was Ally. She had a disgusted look at her face. "What the hell are you doing? Sleeping at our couch? Did you get our groceries as ordered?" I stood silent. "Oh, I see. You want your old mother-in-law to do all the dirty work you lay around, you devil." I was slapped on my face, and she started calling out for Ricky. I couldn't take it anymore. I lashed out. "I am not doing anything for you or your useless son. I've had enough of your nonsense. Go find someone else to bother." I can't, and I won't. I didn't get a single respect from this family, and I don't care anymore. I was about to leave when something blunt fell on the back of my head. I blacked out. When I woke up, I saw myself in a semi-dark room. A small bulb lit at the center of the room. My head was hurting. I tried to get up on my feet, but wobbled and fell down again. It was hurting everywhere. Where was I? I could hear muffled sounds from somewhere. It grew louder, making my head ache more. I tried to crawl towards the sound, found a metal door with a small window. I took support to get up on my feet. It latched open, and I saw Ricky grinning at me. Is my wife scared of the dark? What's this, Ricky? Please get me out of here. This is not funny. Shut up. This is exactly what you do for raising. Then a blow landed on my mother now. I will make sure you never see the day ever again. Please, Ricky, I am sorry. This is going to entirely. I'll do anything. I swear I will not complain. Please let me out, please. I beg you, not so soon. Buttercup. If you stop being a brat, I might consider releasing you. Not till this would be your little cave. It's not like you like going out anyway. And who do you have your mom in dead? Your dad doesn't love you. You are nothing but a forgotten soul. My house afforded you a second chance, but you blew it. I'll have to make amends by then. Asterisk, Ricky. I didn't mean to. Please let me out. I don't like being in the darkness. A daddy's little girl, are you not? How about you scream his name? He magically appears and saves his little princess. He locked the basement window and went outside as I sat in the cold, dark basement. Fear and anger raced through as I sat in cold darkness. How did I get here just because I didn't want to obey my mother-in-law's orders now? I pay the price for standing up for yourself. In the pockets of my broken and shattered phone that would give me hope, except now all hope is gone. Or is it reading the screen is really faded? But I knew his number. I dial my dad's number with trembling hands, my voice shaking. I hope he can save me 2 days later, when I was nearly beaten to near death. Despair nearly consumed me. I heard a car pull up outside the house. My heart pounded in my chest as I strained to hear the sound of footsteps coming down the stairs. When the door swung open, revealing my father standing tall and unwavering, a mix of relief and disbelief washed over me. I couldn't believe he had dropped everything and rushed to my aid. He brought a few cops along with him. Rick and Allie were immediately arrested. They were trying their best to lie, but were in vain. You have no idea what you both have waiting at court, you psychopaths. What have you done to my little girl? Sir, we are truly sorry. We meant no harm. I was thinking of releasing her today. I swear, Rick pleaded. And who are you to decide the punishment for my daughter? You look like something out of a sewer, pathetic little scumbag. Okay, come on, Sandra, let's go, my dad said as he escorted me out of that dark basement. The ordeal left me scared, but at the same time, I experienced a newfound sense of courage and determination. It was not easy, but exposed me to the fact that I can be able to face challenges as they come, and with the help of my Marine dad, I would not waver. Henceforth, I promised to stand up for myself and never let anyone take my voice. I'd only wish Ricky and his mom would rot in jail to allow me to move to New Orleans with my dad, because Texas was no longer safe for me. And before I forget, I will never ever rely on online strangers again. Lesson learned.